Right, so in the second part of this video, let's start the machine and see how the machine's how does the machine works and how it sounds like and things like that. Of course, this machine comes with a vibratory pump. Okay, let's see how it goes. Let's start the machine then. Right, the gentle vibratory sound. So the pump is actually now pumping water. You can see now everything is flashing because the system is actually heating up. So let's see how long it takes for the machine to heat up. Okay, I will start the time and then add in another 30 seconds. Right, so as the machine heats up, you will be seeing this flashing of lights on all the buttons. Right, and the LED control, it will also be flashing. That shows that the machine's temperature is climbing. Right, this is actually the brew pressure gauge. So when you lock out a portafilter, if you want to check what is the pressure of this, you can actually use your blind disc and then you lock it up your portafilter, and then you can check what is the pressure, which we'll be doing it as well later on in the video. So the machine stopped flashing when it's about 1 minute on my scale, which means it takes about 1.5 minutes for the machine to heat up. So let's test the machine in terms of the dispensing of water. Right, I want to check how much water is being dispensed in about, let's do about 10 seconds and see how much water is being dispensed. Right, let's turn on the pump. Oh, it has pre-infusion as well. I think the custom pre-infusion set is 3 seconds. As you engage the pump, the short timer kicks in. Let's run 20 seconds. Okay, in 20 seconds, I'm getting about 130 grams of water. So if you do the math, 130 divided by 20 seconds is about 6.5 milliliters per second. So I think that flow rate is actually pretty decent. Let's test the steam as well. I think this is a single thermoblock, which means to say that if you want to steam, you have to bring, let me see whether you can actually do the steaming. I don't think you can do the steaming immediately. You need to activate the steam button in order for you to bring the steam up to temperature. Right, so this machine uses a single thermoblock, so it works something similar to, I would say, a DeLonghi, whereby you have to wait for a while for the thermoblock to be brought up to the right temperature for steaming. So there is a wait between the two. So if time is not a matter, so this machine is actually perfect. Or you make, usually you make 1 cup of coffee at a time, so then this machine is pretty good for you. Right, so the main difference between this machine and the 3007Z is 3007Z you can actually extract your espresso and then immediately you can steam your milk, but these machines you can't, so you have to wait. So the waiting time is not too long, so it's actually pretty okay. So let's look at how the steam is. Whoa, very powerful steam, I would say. Okay, again, I want to see whether how much water is being given out during the steaming. So same thing, I'm going to bring this here. Right, I'm going to tear this. Oh, I really liked the length of this steam wand. So let's try. Okay, maybe let's steam for about I would say maybe 10 seconds and see how, maybe 20 seconds and see how much water is being dispensed, right? Wow. Okay, I think 10 seconds is more than enough. So I think the increase in weight, after 10 seconds is about 5 grams. So which means to say it is not exactly a very wet steam wand. So I'm going to use my bare hand, right? Please don't do this at home. Wow, the steam is powerful, right? It is considered very, very dry. You can see I put my hands there for quite some time before it starts to accumulate water on my hand, right? So it's a very decent steam power, right? So let's now check the pressure of the group, the preset pressure, see how much pressure it actually goes to. So for now, we have rechecked the flow rate of this machine, which is about 6.5 milliliters per second. Right now, the second most important thing I would like to check is the stock pressure of the machine. So I have to use the blind disc. The machine is pretty light, so as I lock in the polyfilter, the entire machine can actually move. So it is a lighter machine, and which is expected as well. So now let's see. Okay, let's now bring the temperature back to brewing. Okay, right now I have pressed the steam button again, and you can see the steam button is flashing one more time. So let me see whether by releasing the steam will actually bring the temperature down faster. Oh, you can see there's an E6, which means the temperature is actually too high. So I can't actually purge the steam in order to speed up, the lowering of the temperature of the thermoblock. So I have to wait for the steam to come down. So let's start the time and see how long. I'm going to add another 30 seconds again to the total time. So let's see how long it takes for the thermoblock to drop to the temperature of the brew. Okay, let's try something, right? Instead of waiting, okay, let's remove the polyfilter. Let's run some water to see whether it's possible to decrease the temperature of the thermoblock quicker. So I'm just going to press manual. Right, it's dispensing water. You can see that the steam is coming out from the water. Right, so you can hear the hissing sound at the start, and then it starts to stop hissing. And by the time I release the button, you can see that the flashing stops. So let's try that one more time. I'm going to bring the steaming to the steam temperature, and then I'm going to try to repeat what I've done just now by flushing the group, which will lower the temperature of the thermoblock. So let's try that again. So let's bring the machine up to the steam temperature again. From my experience, it takes about a minute plus for the thermoblock to rise to the temperature. Later on, I will show you how this program, which allows you to control the temperature of the steam as well as the temperature of the brew. But for now, let's leave it aside. The machine looks really handsome. Yeah, so if you are thinking of getting this machine, you have to be a little bit more patient. Okay, it stopped flashing. It takes about a minute. All right, so now if I activate the steam button, right, the steam will start. Okay, let's see. I think the steam temperature is too high. I have to set to lower the steam temperature. Right, so now because the steaming, the thermoblock now has been brought up, so now I'm going to deactivate. Right, the moment I deactivate the steam, the 4 button will start to flash. And to speed up the lowering of the temperature, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the short button. Right, I have to flush for around 20 seconds in order for me to bring the group, and immediately you can see that the 4 buttons stop flashing. And then I suppose now the temperature has been lowered, much lower as compared to the steaming temperature. right? So now, before we go on to set the temperature of the group as well as the temperature of steam, let's check the pressure of the machine as a preset. Okay, so now let's adjust the temperature. Let's press the plus button. Right, H1, you should have a H1 and H2. Right, so let's go to H1. This is the brew temperature. I think let's set 92 degrees Celsius. So this will control the PID for the brew, for the group. Let's press again. Let's go on to H2. Right, H2 will be adjusting the steam temperature. It's at 135. No wonder it's so powerful. Let's reduce it to 125. Okay, let's adjust it to 125. So we have lowered by 10 degrees Celsius. So this will make the steam much more manageable, right? So if I press minus and hold, right, it is pre-infusion, right? So again, I think this is very similar to my Gemilai 3007Z. It allows you to turn the pump off and do pre-infusion, and turn the pump on and do the pre-infusion. So you can set it separately. So for now, I'll leave the preset. Let's move on to check the pressure of the group. So the blind disc is in. Okay, so I'm going to bring the camera closer for you to see the pressure. Okay, the pressure of the machine is set around 12 bar. Okay, let's run it one more time. Right, yes, the machine is set at around 12 bars of pressure. So that is the preset pressure on the machines. Alright, so as a summary for the second part of the video of the review of the 3006Z, right, this machine uses a single thermoblock. That's why the machines, the heat of the machine can be brought up in less than 2 minutes. That's really the power of thermoblock. Usually a boiler machine will take a much longer time. This machine is actually very similar to the quick mill, the very retro looking quick mill that we have actually reviewed before. I believe is I can't remember the model, also uses a single thermoblock. But what's the difference between the two is that this machine is fully PID adjustable. You can control the brew temperature, you can control the steam temperature, you can also control the pre-infusion with the pump off, the amount of time you want to set, as well as the pre-infusion with the pump on. So, and these are the features that is very desired, and probably you really can't get all these features at this price point. And I will not say shortcoming, that's the design of this machine with a single thermoblock, which means to say for you to do from, let's say, after you make an espresso, you need some time for you to bring the thermoblock to the steaming temperature for you to start texturing your milk. And if you want to make the second cup of coffee after you steam your milk, you have to actually flush a group to speed up the cool down of the thermoblock so that it can continue pulling the second shots of espresso. And so the workflow for this ideally will be you pull all your espresso first, then you bring your temperature of the steam up to 125 degrees Celsius, and then you steam the milk for all the drinks that you're going to make. But however, if you are a black coffee drinker, this machine is perfect. It heats up the temperature in a minute or so, less than 2 minutes when the machine is completely cool. So it's technically a very fast machine. You power on the machine, you go to brush your teeth, and come out, the machine is heated and ready for you. And it comes with a 1.7 liters water tank, which is very sizable tank. I think you probably don't have to add water, replenish the water for a few days. I think at least 3 to 4 days you do not have to actually top up the tank. This machine doesn't have a hot water spout similar to the 3007Z. So in order for you to make your Americano, right, you either use a separate kettle or you can actually dispense water from the group. But make sure you have to clean the group or flush the group of the coffee ground before you actually do your Americano, because if you don't clean it well, the coffee ground that's stuck onto your group can actually get into your drink. So it's possible to make Americano on this machine. Of course, long black is no problem, or longo is no problem, so not long black. That means you continue to put espresso to be longer so that your espresso has higher volume, and that's actually called a longo. So I think in terms of the looks of the machine, it looks really symmetrical, except that most of the functions is on the right hand side, such as the steaming, such as the lever for the steam is all on the right hand side. Other than that, yeah, let's look at episode 3. One more thing before we go on. The pressure, the stock pressure of the machine is actually at 12 bar. So in these machines, you do not have a physical button or physical turn knob for you to adjust the pressure like the 3007Z. So in order to control your pressure, I suppose the one way and maybe the most straightforward way is actually to control your grind size in order to pull at the desired pressure. So stay tuned for episode 3, right? So thanks for watching. This is CY once again.